Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch, the DC Sports Update. I am your host, CWall, and as always, I am delighted to be here with all of you to talk about our most favorite sports teams. That is the makes up the whole DC sports professional team conglomerate. I'm going to give you all an opportunity to jump on in the room so we can get the conversation started. I see Daryl Taylor has already checked in. Good evening to you. I see Joy Butler. You all know our CWall Sports and Entertainment Chat moderator has joined. Cameron Mingo, as always, huge DC Sports super fan, has checked in. Mazdak, our CWall chaplain, is in the building, in the virtual building. Still like a building, kind of, sort of, you know. You all, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get everyone checked in and welcomed because, as always, we have a lot to discuss and talk about. Why does this particular week feel so long? Is it me? I don't know. It could absolutely be me, but I don't think it is. Just seems like it was a long time ago when I talked to you all. Maybe it's because a lot has transpired and a lot has happened in the last week. That could be it. Who knows? But I want to make sure you all are also liking, loving, sharing this show with all of your DC sports loving family and friends. We're going to go through a bunch of topics tonight. So the Nats, Caps, Mystics, I got a Capital City Go-Go update, Wizards, and of course, we're going to close it out with the Washington football team. As always, I see Damon has checked in. My big brother Dervin has checked in. And I'm glad. I hope you all stay checked in. Stay checked in. Because as you all know, you know the drill around here. And it is what? When is there a dull moment in DC sports? You all already know the answer to this question. Never, ever, ever. This week is absolutely no different, you guys. As soon as I say to myself, you know what? Maybe this will be a bit of a more quiet week, I quickly learn that's not the case. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and jump right on into the conversation. Washington Nationals fans, check in, please. Washington Nationals fans, how are you holding on? Listen, is baseball season over yet? Is it over? Because I'm going to tell you something. With all the former Washington Nationals players making noise right now in the Major League Baseball arena, it's kind of sad. And after everything that we've been through this season, it's really sad, almost grief-stricken sadness, seriously. But the reason why I'm bringing up the Nats is because there's been a lot of talk about the turnover that's going on in the player development area for the Washington Nationals. So the Athletic shared this past Tuesday that minor league instructors, 4 of the Nats minor league instructors, Tommy Shields, Pat Rice, Gary Thurman, and Brian Rupp, all will not return next season. That is raising a ton of eyebrows, you guys. Raising a ton of eyebrows. So listen, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just a whole overhaul of just everything, but it is quite alarming. You know, there were also some minor league instructors related to the team that filed a complaint because of the vaccination mandate that the team has. So a lot going on. We just got to keep our eye on it. We have to keep an eye on it. Definitely a ton of turnover. I thought that was important to share because we haven't given a Nats update in a while on the show, but because that topic is catching a lot of traction, not just in the fan base, but across the league overall, I think it's important that we bring that up here as well. So it's something that we have to keep our pulse on. The season is almost over, so we don't have to go through too much more of that, but we'll keep you updated on all other changes going on with the Washington Nationals organization. So we'll just make sure we keep our eyes and ears open to that. Caps fans, Washington Caps fans, I need you to like, love, check in so that I know you are absolutely here and accounted for. Couple of Caps updates. You guys, training camp started today. So we're ramping up training camp for the Caps, training camp for the Wizards. So a couple of updates out of all of the Washington Nationals players. The only Washington Capitals player that did not show up and was not present and accounted for the beginning of camp is Nick Backstrom. So Nick Backstrom is still rehabilitating a hip injury. The team has officially listed Nick as week to week. So we all know that Backy was struggling with the hip later in the season. The team, and let me just tell you something about injuries, okay? This is an injury that is connected to a surgery that Backy had in 2015. I'm like, what? He's been rehabbing it. Listen, so this has been taking him a while, to say the least, okay? So not sure if Backy will be in the lineup for the season opener October 13th against the New York Rangers, but he's the only player that was not present and accounted for today. All other players have returned for camp. So defensive man John Carlson, he had a knee surgery. He was back. We know TJ Oshie had several injuries he was dealing with last season. Lars Eller, who had a shoulder injury, also back on track. There's a lot of talk about Kuzi. How's Kuzi doing? Hey, General Manager McClellan says Kuzi looks good. He looks good. So first preseason game is on Sunday. We'll see what happens very early on. Rock the red. Let's get it going, Caps fans. Also of note, and I thought this was important to share, that General Manager McClellan shared that the Caps are almost fully vaccinated, will be a fully vaccinated team in 2 days. Now, the National Hockey League did not mandate its players to be vaccinated, but it was strongly encouraged. Okay, so the team is almost fully vaccinated. Okay, I see you checked in, DJ. You never have to apologize for being late. You're technically on time. I see David Hood has checked in as well. You all make sure you're sharing this show with your DC sports loving family and friends, because we still got Mystics, Wizards, and of course the Washington football team update. It's coming. We're going to move right on into it. And I know you guys are liking and loving, so that I know you are absolutely in the building. And I also ask you guys to do that so that I don't miss your comments. That's a good way to make sure I know that you're here, so I don't miss your comments. Super quick update on the Capital City Go-Go. I want to shout out that organization because they are having a youth clinic tomorrow morning at Mary McLeod Bethune Day Academy Public Charter School. Shout out to them for all the work that they're doing in the community. That event is tomorrow morning. It is closed. They already have the youth that's going to attend, but I thought it was very important to mention that because our teams continuously show impact and engage with the community. So I just wanted to shout out the Capital City Go-Go for getting that planned, and I know it will be executed to perfection tomorrow morning. Mystics fans, check in, Mystics fans. Where are you? Where are you? Are you in tears? Are you in shambles? Listen, last week, and we've been talking about this for a while, y'all. The Mystic season just did not turn out the way any of us had anticipated. The Mystics had 2 games. We all saw each other last Thursday. The Mystics had 2 games. All they had to do was win 1 to make it into the playoffs. And they lost both of those games. Lost both games. Lost both of them. So I really want to show you all this clip from Coach Mike Tebow. This is a little bit of a long clip, but here's why I want to share this with you all. It was close to 2-minute clip. The reason why I want to share this with you all is because he went down the list of things that the team did not do that resulted in where they are right now, and that's sitting at home and not in the playoffs. And I think there's so much that can be said across any sport based on what Coach Tebow is sharing on the things that the team just didn't do right. Because this is just team dynamic. This is just team, just overall skill, athletics, everything. Sometimes when you don't do things right, this is the result. You're at home. Okay, so check out. I'm going to try to play as much of this as I can without taking it too long because we still have so much to cover in the show. But take a listen at Coach Tebow.
Go into all of them with them. I'm a big believer, in the old Bill Parcells one. You are what the scoreboard says you are, and we're 12-20, and we have a lot of reasons. Some are good excuses, and some are not. But the fact of the matter is, we're not in rebuild mode, but we're in a reset button mode. We need to reset our culture and how we go about things, and we need to redevelop an identity. And I don't think we had an identity of being good at anything this year. We weren't a good shooting team. We weren't a great defensive team. There were days we were good defensively. We weren't particularly a dominant rebounding team. We were a better rebounding team earlier in the year. And so the fact of the matter is we weren't great, no matter how you look at it. And obviously, if you put, Elena and Alicia Clark into the lineup and you have, some of those other players available for more games, yeah, it would look different. But I can't count on just that being the answer. We have to fix some other things too. And it's a very simple fact. When you are, next to last in the league in field goal percentage and you don't shoot as well as you normally do from the 3-point line or the free throw line, that's got to be fixed. And it's not just, a couple players. It's, we have, 5 players who played a fair amount of minutes, shoot in the mid 30s for the most part from the floor. That's not good enough. Defensively, we didn't get stops. We didn't protect the rim. We didn't, do what we're supposed to do. We're normally a low turnover team, and we were by the number of turnovers, but not to our standards. And the turnovers we had led to more points than normal. Usually if let's say you commit 13 or 14 turnovers, which is considered low in our league, but those can't be, those can be 13 or 14 points. They can't be 20. Mm-hmm. And those things catch up. We can complain all we want about the officiating, but the fact of the matter is our opponents throughout the year shot more free throws than us. And that's not acceptable. I mean,
listen, one of the reasons why I really, really like Coach Mike Tebow is because he keeps it all the way real. And he went down the list of things that the team just didn't do well. You heard him mention right there in what he's sharing, hey, you have some other players on the court. We're not having this conversation right now because the team is preparing for the playoffs. The team absolutely dealt with some injuries. But the reality is, like he said, hey, you are as good as the scoreboard says that you are. And that's a tough message because we all have such high hopes for this amazing team. But it kind of is what it is. They just did not perform up to their standards. Like he said, some of the things, it may not look bad, it may not sound bad or anything of that sort on paper, but they have a standard. And when they don't meet that standard, you are home instead of in the playoffs. Now, I will share this comment that Cameron Mingo just shared, and that is, okay, if we're being optimistic, get a healthy Emma. We know Emma was out, right? Emma was taking a break. She's been playing overseas, was an active contributor to her country's basketball team during the Olympics. So she did not come back. We all know about the injuries to Elena Deladon and Alyssa Clark. Other players throughout the season, Tina Charles, Natasha Cloud, and others, Maisha Hines-Allen, all of them dealing with injuries all throughout the season that we absolutely know is what were contributors to the scoreboard. But hey, Coach Tebow gonna be honest with y'all all the time. Coach Tebow is not gonna cut any corners. If you even really pay attention and you heard what he said, Coach Tebow didn't really bring up the injuries. CWall is, because I know that's a contributor, but Coach Tebow still requires a high level of productivity with whomever is out there. So listen, like Joy says here, the Mystics are still tough. Better luck next year. Absolutely. Still a lot to be proud of. Still a lot to look forward to. No, it's absolutely a disappointing season, but still a lot to look forward to with this team. Now, moving on to the Wizards. Wizards fans, have you checked in? Like, love emoji. Can I see a few? Have you tapped in your fellow Wizards fans into this conversation? I need you to tap them on in. Tap them on in. So earlier today, the media met with General Manager Tommy Shepard via Zoom. Not much to share, if I'm being really honest with you all. Not much to share. You all know on the show a couple weeks ago, I said, hey, this is all wait and see. Totally all wait and see. But right now, as of right now, here's the Washington Wizards roster. Check it out. Take a moment to look at it. Initial reactions from everybody. Several new players. We all know who they are, and we can call them out now, probably in our sleep. But this is the roster going into training camp. This is it. Your Washington Wizards, you guys. Okay? This is the team. Take a look. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, you guys. I really am trying to find the words in terms of what are we really looking forward to? I mean, tomorrow the media will meet with Coach Unseld. So we know, at least I know and anticipate a better team on the defensive side of the ball. But just in terms of what it's going to look like, how it's all going to, materialize out on the court, I can honestly say for the first time in a long time, I do not know. I would have to see. It's still so much that can be said. It's still so much that I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, you guys. We truly will have to wait and see. On the screen now, this is the training camp schedule. Media day is on Monday afternoon. A limited number of media can be in person. A limited number of fully vaccinated media can be in person. Just wanted to make sure you all knew it was for fully vaccinated media. Although I am fully vaccinated, I am double booked for half of that time. So I will be joining them via Zoom. And then the rest of the training camp days are there for you all to see. So like I was mentioning earlier, we got the Caps going into training camp, Wizards going into training camp. So I think this is good, y'all. I think it's really good to just be in a wait and see mode. And let's just coast this thing out and see what happens when everybody has to get on the court, because I just have no idea what this is going to look like in action. So more to come as always with these DC sports teams. Now, where are the Washington football fans? Washington football fans, I know that you all have been tagging in your DC sports fans. I have been sharing, and Joy has been sharing, like, love, tag, and share this show. Because, hey, listen, you can always watch this show later, right? But isn't it fun when we can all talk together, right? About everything going on in DC sports. David, I see you have checked in. Joy is assuring me that The Washington football team fans are absolutely in the building. DJ is even commenting and saying, come on, Washington football fanatics, where you at? Seriously, where are you? Look, you know what I thought about? I said to myself, I said, hey, listen, it feels like it's been a really long time since I talked to my fellow Washington football team fans. It feels like it's been quite a while. And I said, that's probably because last week was pregame. We pregame together, and then we watched the game last Thursday night football. And if you all recall, for training camp, we did something called the Washington football training camp update. It was very well received in focusing on, for that time period, just all Washington football team talk. And quite frankly, we had a good time. We had a good time. So with that being said, we want to first let you all know, while you're watching live, that we have a new Coaching from the Couch show. It is absolutely Coaching from the Couch, the Washington football update. It will be every Monday. Every Monday. The time currently could fluctuate, you all, so make sure you are locked in and keeping your notifications on all of the social media outlets, because you'll just never know when we'll go live. It depends on the situation, but we absolutely wanted you all to know here first that new show, a spinoff of the Washington football training camp update, will absolutely be during the season, Washington football update, all Washington football team talk. Now, listen, that does not excuse you from showing up on Thursdays, okay? Because there's always a lot going on. There's enough Washington football team talk to go around, don't you think? So, hey, make sure you all are sharing this show, liking and loving the show. I hope you all will join in for the Washington football team update. Get excited, everybody. It's going to be a lot to discuss and talk about when we're just talking about the Washington football team. So more to come there, but make sure you are checking in on the Washington football team update. I think we're looking forward to it. We're starting after week 3, because now is when the stuff is starting to get real. Things are starting to get really real. So let's get excited. Let's have some fun talking about the Washington football team for certain. Now, I want to go all the way back to last Thursday night. Now, we have to look forward. We have to look forward. But in all fairness, we have to do things in order. Okay, we got to do things in order with the way that, how we normally do things, right? Why not? Listen, so look, y'all know we got this thing on the show called What's Your One Word? Now, for this week, we're going to do things a little different, because last week's Thursday night game was very different. Okay? It's very, very different. All right? So, because it's so different, we're going to play the What's Your One Word game. But the way we're going to do it is we're going to go back in time a bit and think about how you felt when. So, let's get going. What's your one word to describe when Taylor Heineke had that 2-play drive that ended in that corner catch in the end zone by Ricky Seals-Jones? I want to know, what was your one word? At that moment, what was your one word? How did you feel when you saw that? What were you thinking? How did it all go down for you? And I'm seeing some of the words come through. I'm seeing a lot of it come through here. How let me know in that moment. I felt some of the same, you all. Absolutely felt some of the same. Now, let's continue to reminisce on that game because there was a lot of emotions in that game. There was a lot going on. What was your one word when Taylor Heineke threw that pick? And tell the truth, because I know y'all really loving the beer man right now. I know y'all really loving the beer man. So what was your one word when Taylor Heineke threw that interception? The game was at a critical point. It was a critical moment. What was your one word? Mike Lyles, I see you coming. Figures. Listen, Joy, CWall team member, Joy was on the phone with me, so she's probably not going to tell y'all what my one word was, okay? She's not going to tell y'all. Not what mine is. A lot of one words. A lot of one words. Listen. So let's keep going, okay? Taylor Heineke makes up for it. We're going to keep reminiscing. He makes up for it. He gets the team down the field and into field goal range. And now the game is in. We trusted in Dustin Hopkins' kicking abilities. First field goal, Hopkins misses. What was your one word? What was your one word when Dustin Hopkins missed that first field goal last week? And I see you, Stuart, checking in from the Washington Football Extreme Facebook page. Hello to you, my friends. A lot of one words when Dustin Hopkins missed it. When he missed. Now, the Giants, offsides penalty of all things. It lucks up in the Washington football team's favor. Dustin Hopkins gets another chance, and he gets a little closer to the field goal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He makes it. He made the second one. What was your one word when he made it? What was your one word? And yes, Stuart gave a few words. That was a lot for week 2. I mean, I was completely stressed out. I could not believe. I told Joy, I said, the Lord wants us to win this football game. I threw the Lord in there. I said, listen, because this is so insane. But it was so stressful, you all. It was so stressful, so many emotions, and I still can't believe it. But listen, I do want to talk a bit about the defense. And we already are going into something that DJ is saying. Hopkins is still suspect like Jack Del Rio. Listen. I don't know what's going on with the defense. I do believe, and I want you all's feedback while we get into a conversation about the defense. And I see exactly what you're saying here, Damon. Worried about the defense because listen, and I've talked to a couple of coaches and people whom I respect their input and everything. And I'm like, what's going on here? Now, let Jack Del Rio tell it. He doesn't feel like Chase and Montez are getting doubled any more than they normally do. Okay. But there's definitely, I mean, can the defensive line play better? Yes, they could. But overall, I don't think that's the challenge. It's the linebackers that's the challenge. And I keep trying to say to myself, okay, John Bostic clearly still has a job because of what? And I track this back in my mind. And I say, here's what I think about John Bostic. It's not so much about he's more talented, because I think Jamin, we all know Jamin is young and he's going to improve. I think he's got great talent. And I believe the same for Cole Holcomb. I think why John Bostic is still a member of this roster is because he has more experience. That's what I think it is. So I think it's because of his in-game experience and his veteran abilities. That's why he's technically beating people out and no one has been able to take his spot yet. That's what I'm thinking this must be. But at the same time, I'm like, these players are out of position. That leads me to go back to the secondary. Now, when things are falling apart in the linebacker core and it's wide open in the middle, now here goes Landon Collins and others who are now doing somebody else's job when they probably should just focus on doing their own job. Because if we really want to talk about it, remember the Washington football team got very lucky last week with that Daniel Jones touchdown that got called back. What happened was Landon Collins left his spot. That's what happened. Trying to help the linebackers. They're trying to help them. Everybody has to do their job and play accordingly, because what is absolutely happening is that these offenses know that coverage is terrible in the middle of that field. It's wide open. And they're going to send people to that same spot each and every time. And it's going to be open. It's going, because the defense isn't getting pressure consistently, it's going to look like it's all on them. But the reality is, because the linebackers in the secondary are still very much lacking, and that could be a Jack Del Rio problem, the defense has to get consistent pressure or they're screwed. They're absolutely screwed. So here's what I wanted to share with you all. A clip from Coach Ron Rivera. And Coach has been talking about the defense for a while now, like just the last week or so. He's been answering some of the same questions. But check this out, what he said in today's press conference. I have a clip here.
Frustrated with the defense if they weren't so talented and capable of so
Correct.
much. Do you sense that this week or this extended week has provided a wake-up call on that kind of maturity you've been talking about?
I think if anything provides it is, looking at the tapes. That to me is probably more important for those guys to understand, because when you look at when they do things the way they're capable of, they're pretty darn good, and we see that. We see that with the rush, we see that with the run defense, we see that with the coverage. So really, to me, it's we've talked a lot about it, and I really do think a lot has been said. It's just a matter again of continue to work together, continue to grind together, and understand just how important it is that we all do our job.
It's important that they all do their job. They're trying to do each other's job, and they want to do well. You see that. But it's too easy. See, here's the thing about it. Once these teams got film on you, and I want to go back to a point that everyone's been making and been talking about with Chase and Montez getting more double teamed. I think Chase is getting in his own head. I think it's starting to be mental for him, because you got film on him, right? And so now where there's certain weaknesses of his, I think offensive line, they're playing on that, on top of the fact that, yes, he is being doubled. He absolutely is. But at times, it's not the right time to take Chase out on a third down. It seems like the team, they get real relaxed or something on third down. It's really, really troubling, because the defensive line is supposed to be the strength, yes, and I think that they still are, but they're definitely not playing, to Coach Rivera's point, who everybody knows they are and what they can do. The way that teams can move this ball on third down, that's just unacceptable. It's really unacceptable. And when you have your best player, the just last year defensive rookie of the year, on the sideline on third down, this isn't, it's savvy at times the way they rotate Chase and Montez. But hey, listen, get to the quarterback, get pressure up there. You shouldn't be making 3rd and 17. That's crazy. That's crazy. But now 2 weeks in, this is what you're seeing these teams successfully do against this defense that was anticipated to be one of the absolute best in the league. It's not looking like that right now. It's even been talk of the defense being overrated. And I'm like, I'm still not ready to call them overrated just yet. Not just yet. But we going into week 3. Up there with the Bills Mafia. Okay? And the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen. Oh, them boys come to play. They come to play. Okay? They come to play. And I have some stuff that I want to share in terms of just some notes that I saw from some of the Bills media on what their concerns are, which was very telling about where their concerns are about this Sunday's contest, the Bills and the Washington football team. Okay. So listen, let me tell you, there's two players. Now, they're not even all that concerned about the defense. And that's disturbing a little bit that they're not afraid of that. Could be a little telling. No, let me tell you the 2 names that's coming out from Bills media on, hey, here's who we need to keep our eyes on. Y'all ready? The 2 names. First name, Taylor Heineke, the beer man. Bills media is like, hey, listen, I'm going to go back to the film. I'm going to go back to the tape. Once they got film on you, they're going to try to figure you out. So everybody that's saying in the chat, you got to switch it up. You got to switch up the scheme. You got to rotate. You got to get creative. Not much tape for the Bills to watch on Taylor Heineke. Okay. But they're talking about the 306 yards that he put up against the Bucks in the playoffs. They're talking about last week, 336 yards and 2 touchdowns that he just did last Thursday. And Bills media is like, I keep an eye on that guy. I was like, oh, okay, really? Interesting. The other name of who they're taking a look at, and it says, can the Bills pass defense shut down Scary Terry? So check this out, okay? So far, over the first 2 weeks of the season, hasn't allowed an opposing receiver to have more than 55 yards receiving. Yet they're saying, can they stop Scary Terry? I feel like I needed to share that with you all because it's always interesting to see the opposing team and how they're feeling and what they're gravitating to and where their eyes are. The fact that, yeah, there's some connections between some of the players on the Washington football team defense and some of the Bills coaches, yes, but the fact that the defense at all was not noted as something to be worried about, I was like, Heineke, Terry, those are the 2. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. But there's a lot to be said. Listen, I want to go to something that Damon has right here. And a lot of questions have been asked about what happened to Cam Sims. And Cam, we know over the last 2 weeks, Cam has not been really getting any burn. Ron Rivera admittedly said, have to get Cam more involved. Because if you are in a situation where you're going to start seeing a lot of doubling on Terry, because I've already given y'all the hint that they worried about Terry, then who's your guy? Who else? You know, we got Dion, but we got to get somebody else in there. And to Johnny Leon Hill's point, listen, Logan Thomas still, is this his week? Is this Logan Thomas week? Could be. Absolutely could be. So this leads me to one of the last topics of the evening that we have to get into, and that is your bold predictions, everybody. What are your bold predictions for Sunday's game the Washington football team and the Buffalo Bills. So, what are your bold predictions? Go ahead and share them in the chat. I'm going to post them on the screen. Bold predictions, bold predictions. What do you all think is going to go down? Who haven't we heard from? Maybe because we haven't seen much of Cam Sims. Perhaps he has a big game. Perhaps he has a big game. Whatever they do, please don't let Josh Allen do the Daniel Jones. Don't let him. I call it doing the Daniel Jones. Don't let Josh Allen do the Daniel Jones. Whatever, just please don't. Drop your bold predictions in the chat. Absolutely want to see what your bold predictions are. And I know it takes some thought. Buffalo Bills are a tough team. They're tough. They're tough. And I'm absolutely excited about the game for certain. And I'm seeing some of that scoop and score on Josh Allen by Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen, did we talk about him last week? I think we talked about him maybe briefly last week, but let's go ahead and talk about Jonathan Allen real quick while you all are still dropping your bold predictions for Sunday's game, Buffalo Bills against the Washington football team. Jonathan Allen is like, this is what you paid me to do. And I appreciate that. Don't let your performance decline when you get a big payday. Okay. And that is not what he is doing. He has let his talent shine through in the first 2 weeks. And I'm extremely appreciative of it. Lydell, I see you checked in 37-17. Washington football team. Listen, Jonathan Allen is really loud on the field in his play is what I mean. This is what you paid me to do. Kenneth Burrows, I see your comment. Washington football team wins the game by 3 points. It could be another close one. And my mother, y'all, please say hi to Mama Waller. Please say hi to her. She done joined in on the bold predictions with a 27-17 Washington football team. Even Mama has joined in on the fun. On that, Johnny Leon said, hey, he with Lydell. The Bills won't get over 17 points. I think it's time for the defense to come alive. Listen, the offense gets to be, it's like, why can they never be on the same page? The defense is off, the offense is on. And even Jonathan Allen, going back to Jonathan Allen, had to admit the offense had to bail the defense out. When was the last time you all heard anybody say that the offense had to bail the defense out? I mean, it was true, but good grief, I haven't heard that in years. Big Brother Durbin has always 23-17. Okay. The D-line's gonna show up. Maybe the first 2 games is kind of like a little preseason-ish. So hey, at least they came out of that 1-1, because we all agreed last week that last week was a must-win. That Giants game was a must-win. And Lydell is bringing up a good point here. The defense has not shown that they can stop the run on any team in the league. They have got to get better on stopping the run. Absolutely. You all. This is going to be telling. Because we know the Bills had an excellent season last year. They're doing really well already out the gate. We're going to see what happens. We are going to see what happens for certain on Sunday. I think we just got to sit back, relax, not try to get ourselves too stressed out, but continue to see progression. They got to get better. Got to get some pieces involved that offensively that haven't been involved so far in the first 2 weeks. And we'll see what they can do. I'm excited. Are you all excited? I'm getting excited talking to you. I'm back in it. I'm getting excited about this game. So, hey, listen. More to come. And because I do not want you all to forget, You all better not forget, because we got a game on Sunday. So that means on Monday, keep your notifications on. It'll more than likely be in the evening, but just keep your notifications on. We're going to come together. We're going to do a whole breakdown of the game and just talk about it, initial reactions and all of that great stuff every Monday. So we're going to watch the game on Sunday, and on Monday, we right back here on the CWall Sports and Entertainment Facebook page to talk all things on Monday, Washington football. Okay. You guys, thank you as always for tuning in. I want you all to stay safe. Enjoy the game. Eat all the great tailgate food, because you can tell, I mean, it's an away game, but tailgate at your house or wherever you choose to, of course. But enjoy. And actually, I guess I can say, yeah, I'm going to see you guys next week, but on Monday. Okay. See you guys soon.